People are mentally exhausted more than they realize. I mean, modern life comes with a lot of stress and a lot of pressures, a lot of background noise. And eating a simple carnivore lifestyle diet basically solved all those solutions for me. The world's a busy, busy place. Lots of options for everything out there. Overstimulus. We're constantly being bombarded with all kinds of 24/7 data. And I get the impression that some people just don't sit and relax. You know, there's a lot to be said about being calm and being content with being calm. Constant stimulation is fatiguing. And one of the ways that I have done away with some of my stress and my fatigue in my life is to, when I started eating carnivore and started getting back to the basics of my diet. Once I simplified it, man, things took a turn that I did not expect. Welcome, everybody. My name is Luke, Captain Carnivore, and thanks for hanging out with me, and let's get into it. So when people think of complex systems, they think that at times is a sign of intelligence. Let me tell you, oftentimes a sign of complexity in any system is a sign of deception in some form. And the intelligent part, and of course I'm just talking from my perspective and my experiences, but the intelligent part comes from taking a particular goal or a system and implementing it in the simplest possible fashion. Simplicity in that regards can lead to, easily repeatable, easy for everybody to understand. I don't know, when you're trying to convey to somebody a solution to a problem, oftentimes starting with the most simplistic method is oftentimes the best method. And when it comes to a carnivore diet actually by definition, by my standards, is the simplest form of eating. Let's face it, animal products, we'll call it meat, bacon, beef, butter, and eggs. And when it gets right down to it, well, it doesn't get much simpler than that. I mean, you can cook them separately and eat them separately. You can mash them all together and make a bowl of food with all four of them or three of them, combine them and stack them. I use smoked salt. And obviously my favorite is hickory at this point. I do have some cherry wood, which is delightful also. But anyways, you can combine those in a lot of different ways. But the point is how simple it is. And that's the whole idea. You'd be surprised on how much your body can react to just keeping things simple. When you start in on simple routines, it can free up mental space. I mean, I've always told my wife, I said, hey, listen, we people, we humans probably only use like 5% of our mental capacity. I mean, if we were to use even half of it, we could probably levitate items from across the room or something crazy. But the point is that as a figure of speech, we probably only use 5% of our mental capacity. Well, at times, my mere 5% seems like it's running at about 4.8 sometimes. And so anytime that I can make something in my life less stressful, more predictable, and carnivore has done that for me. Hey, I dropped that capacity, that available capacity down. In other words, I have more space in my brain to cram more good stuff instead of the noise. The noise is what gets you. So in regards to sustainability, what's the opposite of sustainability? And in my opinion, the opposite you could say is chaos. And what is chaos? Chaos is unpredictability, too many options. It's almost like the refusal to accept simple solutions. Everything has got to be complex, because complex, I deal with complex things all the time. Everybody does. And if you break it down, it's like chaos. At the very best, you could look at it as being controlled chaos. If you can conquer a system that's real busy and noisy and overly complex, you have still chaos, and it's under control, barely, most of the time. So that does not satisfy me. Man, if I'm going to have a system like eating carnivore, which all by itself is super simple, all by itself, it has solved the problem of being a complex system, and by definition, it is a simple system. I used to go to the grocery store, and I kind of likened it to way back in the day. I'm old enough to remember going to the movie, the like Blockbusters and other places to go rent movies. People would rent movies on VCR tapes, for heaven's sakes, way back in the day. It was a great thing to do. And you'd go to the store that had 100,000 movies in it to rent, but you didn't go there knowing what you wanted to watch. So you spent like 3 hours wandering around looking at all of these different movies. You spent more time trying to pick the damn thing out than it took to watch it. And I equate that to before I turned carnivore, going to the grocery store. What do you do when you go to the grocery store? If you don't have a list, if you don't have a predetermined idea of what you're going to do when you get to the grocery store, you find yourself walking up. My wife and I did this for years. You'd walk up one aisle, come around the backside, go back down the same aisle you just came out of. In other words, there was chaos in the system. And this was just grocery shopping. Now, I don't have that problem anymore. I take all that time and I free it up to do other things, like sit here and talk to you guys on making this video. Because when I go to the grocery store, I only shop in one or two areas. I go grab some eggs and I hit the meat counter. Real simple, real basic. Hey, let's face it. Our modern lives, it really doesn't offer our brain a chance to rest. And I have learned through the last couple of years, and I've known, but I have learned the importance of letting the brain rest. Anything that you can do to simplify any process that you're currently involved in is allowing your brain to rest, your mind to calm down. I see so many people. You can tell obviously you can tell when somebody is stressed, but when all of the pressures that they allow into their life become either too much, too many, too intense, too internalized, that they're really, really stressed. So if that is something that's happening to you, believe me, it's happened to me on all different levels. I mean, you have to let the mind get a little rest. It's actually, I don't know, it's imperative. You could argue that actually a lot of people crave it and not even really know it, I suppose. You know, it's almost a relief. I'll give you an example. For many years, I was an alcoholic. Well, what do you think that does? It kind of removes your mental. It induces a mental fog. It's an artificially induced mental fog to kind of dull the over stimulus of thoughts and ideas and stresses and life problems and life stresses. And some may say, well, that sounds like a pretty good tool. And you can talk yourself into that if you'd like. The problem is the tool becomes an addiction. And I would never refer to drinking alcohol as a tool. My point is that what it does to you makes it so that it could be conceived as being a way of tolerating stress. What do you think recreational drugs are for or have been used as? So, I don't know. I don't advocate all that, obviously. I mean, I'm a recovered alcoholic, so of course I don't advocate it. I advocate getting the hell off of it if you're on it. Let's be realistic for a second. Eating a simple lifestyle or even keeping things simple in your life, that doesn't mean easy. Simple is not the definition of easy. Simple is like the idea. You know, it's a simple idea. We have a process. All these processes, they look simple and they look easy. It's the implementing of them. If you happen to go outside of your comfort zone, or if you're trying to develop a new lifestyle, well, certainly you're going out of your comfort zone because you're interrupting your daily routine. So just because it's simple doesn't equate into being easy. Now, simple means it's plausible. You can do this. It just doesn't mean that it's easy. Fundamentally, it's easy once you get into the routine of it. But that's the whole idea, is understanding that it doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy. Eating carnivore is simple. It's simple. Eat meat. Beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. That's what I do. But is it easy? Well, in the beginning for me and a lot of other people, no, it's not easy. It's incredibly hard and difficult because you're changing your routine. You're changing your lifestyle. None of that rarely comes easy. And speaking of chaos, lastly, I'd like to close today with a thought of the state of affairs that modern society has for us. And it comes across to me as being incredibly chaotic. And there's a couple of thoughts that I need to leave with. And number one, there are certain things that we have control of. We have control of ourselves. We have control of our bodies. We have control of our diet. And when it comes to the people around us, we don't have control of them, but we do have some influence. And sometimes we have a lot of influence. Your immediate family. You have control of yourself, but the people that you have influence over have a positive influence. Lead by example. Take care of your family. Love yourself. Love your family, your spouse, your kids, your grandkids, all of your immediate family, extended family. Take care of them. Be there for them. And finally, let's not forget your neighbors. Your neighbors they're your neighbors. They're not strangers. Strangers are what you see on the street with almost 100% certainty of not ever seeing them again, unless, of course, you live in a small town. So, greet them, be kind to them, your neighbors, and if you're ever in a time of need, they'll be there for you. Respect them. Listen, guys. I'm really, really excited about these up and coming videos. I'm going to be doing lives on noon on Fridays. At least that's the current plan. If you like this kind of content, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Luke, Captain Carnivore. Please like and subscribe. It means the world to me. And come hang out on Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time. I'll put out a post reminding all of my victims. But I'd love to have the Captain Carnivore crew show up and hang out. I made myself a special mug for the event. See? And it's Captain Carnivore's Campfire Chat. That's what the name of the Friday event is. Anyways, guys, I'm rambling. Thanks for dropping by. Please like and subscribe. This is Luke, Captain Carnivore. Let's catch you on the next one.